There we go. I think I'm on. Hi, everybody. I am live. Hey, I just got stuff all over my hands by moving a container. Hey, I'm here today, and I'm going to be making a pumpkin patch t-shirt. Now, this is kind of a cool project. I had a student I just went to visit, and they opened up for their first year a pumpkin patch out here where I live in Nebraska. And I thought, how cool is that? I should have thought about this student because I have that pumpkin patch transfer. Let me show it to you. This is actually one of the frames that I made with the pumpkin patch transfer. It says pick your own. It has the pumpkins, and they also have the word fresh and the outline of fresh also with the stems, and it has a really cool shading. But this is a framed picture of what we're going to make today. And let me show you the transfer. Trying to think what size this transfer is. There you go. Can you see that? Oops, I need to move that container. Since I'm working with ink today, I'm just really trying to make sure I don't get any on my hands, because that would be an easy way to make a mistake and get a blob of ink. So this is the fresh pumpkins transfer. I love it. There's a huge variety of ways that you can use it. But I'm getting my inspiration today also from somebody on Facebook posted a really cool picture, and she made t-shirts with a lot of our new transfers. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. This transfer is 12 by 18. It's $24.99 at Couture /AndreHen if you're interested in it. Here's the picture in our catalog where they put it on one of our boards, one of our white, they're kind of like a whitewash, and then they have the frame on them. They are the coolest boards. I need to order some of those in because I tend to put a lot of mine on the, like I said, the framed board. I'm not even sure this framed board we have anymore. They've changed their boards and they've really updated. Yeah, they do have this one. This, as you can see right here, is the top one. This is a gallery framed board. This is the 9 by 12. This one right up here it shows a picture of. That's this one. 9 by 12 for $39.99. It's actually called Aiden style, which I absolutely love. They do that whitewash look, so they have the black underneath, so it looks kind of rough. You know, it's been sanded down. The really popular look right now. So that's what I created this one on. I love their boards. Absolutely love their boards. So I buy them all the time. But I wanted to show you that. I have that hanging up in my house. Here's the transfer you get. It's a silk screen. And like I said, it's 12 by 18. I think I said $39.99. I think that's what I said. Was that the frame? Oh my gosh. I can't remember anything today. No, wait a minute. That's not today. That's just every day. I can't remember things. I mean, it's just crazy. You know, they say it's true, and I always made fun of my husband when he couldn't remember things. I thought, oh, that's old age. I'll never be that way. It's just you. And I'm like, really? It's not just you. Yeah, I'm there. $24.99 for the transfer. Sorry about that. But these are a silk screen, just like they do for t-shirts. You know, at the stores that make t-shirts and t-shirt transfers. So these are silk screens so that just enough of that ink goes through, and you can use Couture paint, paint that I used on that frame, so I can just wash that off. But the ink is permanent, and I have an easy press from Cricut that I'm gonna heat set it. Okay, so I absolutely adore this transfer. Sorry, I've got stuff all around me. So here's my t-shirt. Making sure my surface is pretty clear here. Oops. Found a little, so I'm trying to clean it up. Again, I don't want to make a mistake. Now, the first thing I did, they have this adhesive mat anytime you use ink, and that's so it doesn't bleed through. But it's sticky, which is nice, so that the fabric doesn't move. You know what I mean? Nothing's worse than, you know, like I was thinking putting a board. If you had a board in between here, oh yeah, that'd work. Not as well, because what happens then is it slides on the board, and so it makes a mess, and the stickiness helps keep that paint or that ink in place. And it's okay, like the ink from up here, you can still see some of the ink that I did from previous projects, like I did my jeans. In fact, you can see the flower I put on my jeans right here. See that? Flower I put on my jeans. That's dried, and it won't come off on the shirt. So I like that aspect of it. Okay, let me get out I cut up the transfer already. Sorry about that. I'm trying to find that cut up transfer. I had everything set out. And of course it falls to the floor in my room. I redid my craft room. And I've just got a lot of stuff put away, but now I'm struggling on where did I put everything? There it is. So thanks for being patient with me. It's like, squirrel. I have so many squirrel thoughts. So here it is. I just put it in a Ziploc bag. They do have nice plastic bags that they come in anyway, but let me show you it. So it'll have pumpkins. It even has this, like, I don't know what you call that, a divot. Like, it has the pick your own. See, I could do pick your own pumpkins, where what I did on the frame was I put pumpkins up here and then pick your own. Could even do this. Since this is not a sign, I'm not too worried about that. They also have fresh, but then you can also put in the shading of the fresh right over it. So you do this layer and then this layer. Now, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm playing it simple today. Okay, so this is the background, and then you put this shading on it. Do you see that, how that's done? So here's the one you put down first, and then you put the shading on. At least that's how I've done it. And then you also have the stems, so you put your stem, after you get this done, put your stem on, put this stem on, and then do the shading on top of it. And it also has a part that says 25 cents a pound, open daily. Well, actually, I was just out at the pumpkin patch and I bought 3 pumpkins, and they were 35 cents a pound. I think it was somewhere 30, somewhere 35. I think it depended on what type of a pumpkin it was. So let me see what I'm going to do. Am I going to change this? I still kind of liked this look. Pick your own. Yeah, I like this. Now, I didn't have any of the chalk ink, but I did have the red. I had the bumblebee. And the red was candy apple, I believe. So, since they're both inks, I went ahead and mixed them to make an orange. And I actually ended up finding one of their first colors of orange. So I actually have 2 shades of orange. I don't know if you can see the difference. Oh yeah, I can really see it now. Can you? I can really see it. So I'm trying to think. Now I did the shading in dark on my picture, and then I did the pumpkins in a light orange. So I think I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to do the pumpkins in dark and do the shading in a light, even though it's probably proper to do it the other way around. Okay, so when I mixed them, I used this multi-tool. That was a godsend. And let me show you the bottle I got the old orange out of, and I don't know, I just mixed it in there. This was just the old orange. So what's cool is it gets right up against here, and I know I need to clean that up more, but this tool is awesome for things like that, and scraping it down the jars I mix these in. And the neat thing is, I'll clean that jar up, and I'll put the colors in and just say pre-mix, Kristen's mix, or whatever, and say which 2 I added in there. So, okay, I see a little yellow crumble there. It scared me. Okay, and I do have yellow, that bumblebee. Don't have the black. But I think I'm going to do this pumpkins in the dark orange. I think light. I think I just play those two colors. Light orange, dark orange. Dark orange, light orange, dark orange. Now, you can use a tape measure and kind of measure how far you got things. I like to eye things, and I'm looking up at my camera too, by the way, just to see how it looks there. So I'm looking here. See? Yep. And then I'll do it here. But I was so excited to go out and see Lindy and her mom and dad. Didn't get to see her dad. Her dad was probably busy running people out on the hay rack tractor. So they had all sorts of really cool things. They even had a human foosball. Can you imagine that? I never heard of that. They had a pin with human foosball. They had a slide where you go down hay bales. But they put this slick white stuff down, and so the kids could slide down the hay bales and walk back up. They had a zip line. Oh, I couldn't do that. Can't lift my weight. Okay. Now, this is adhesive, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that, too. You know, I told you that this back ink board was adhesive, and it's not really a board. It's plastic. But all their silk transfers are adhesive also, so that it sticks and stays in one place. I'm just making sure I don't have any air bubbles, because that is where you'll get some mistakes. I also have all my strips over here, the shiny side. So when after I wash them, I know which one goes on. Okay, so my idea is dark, light, dark. Okay. Now I have the squeegees. This is the older squeegee. And the reason I know it's the older squeegee, it's wider where it has that angle. But here's their newer one, and I went to convention, so I have the pink one. But it's narrower, so it's still big enough that you can go across. Do you see that? Now I've got to be careful here. And because of that, I took some of these squeegees and cut them down. And you can do the same with the newer ones. None of the newer ones are actually aqua. Where because I was at convention, I got the pink ones. Here's my new one. It has ink still stuck in it. Must be hard on things. That's okay. It still works. That color doesn't come off, you know, on my project or anything. But you can cut these up so you have smaller, like I'm a little concerned right here. You don't want it to go onto that fabric and then smear it. Okay. So just showing you those are the different tools that I have. You also want to have with you and is our cleanup sponge. Now I'm going to use this mainly today because we're doing ink. I'm going to mainly use it in the sink with some just water when I clean this transfer up, this silk screen up, and it'll help wipe. And this, like they say, it's all screen, so this helps grab that ink out of there and keeps it clean. It's okay if these stain. I don't know if you can see where some of that orange, some of those brighter colors have more pigment to them, so they stain, and that's okay, not a big deal. Okay, I'm going to dip in. Just dipping in to get some of that pre-mixed color that I got. I think I'm going to dip in down here first since I have quite a bit of it. I feel like a chalk newbie right now because it's been a while since I created my other pumpkin frame. At least it feels like forever. It hasn't. It's the beginning of the month, but you know what? This is something anybody can do. You have to have, I mean, honestly, no talent. I love crafting. My mom's always taught me to craft, or taught us, our whole family. You know, we crafted growing up because of her. And you know, I don't think I have talent. I just think I replicate things that I see that I like. And so that's what this allows me to do. And the thing I love about it too is you don't have to have talent. If you can scrape something thin, you know, think about this, a sandwich. If you're making a sandwich, can you put your mayonnaise on that sandwich thin? If you can do that, you can literally do inking and chalking. Not a big deal. It's that easy. Now, do you notice too, I'm scraping this off because I can use all of that ink back up. Use it, use it, use it, reuse it. And then I'll clean that squeegee up too, but I also have a ton of squeegees over here. Oh, here's our angled. I think I might want to use that for that. It's thicker. I don't know if you can see that, but it's thicker than the others. See the difference? But what I love about it, it does have different angles. Look at that, longer, but this one's shorter. This one's shorter yet. I do like that. In fact, it's one of my favorite tools because I can have more control over where it goes. This stuff is like, I don't know, I say like yogurt. But I eat a lot of yogurt, so that's why I would say like yogurt. Most people say toothpaste. Yeah, but I think yogurt's better. But my yogurt, I put chocolate chips in, sweetener in it. Heaven. Okay, now this stuff, because the ink doesn't dry that quickly, because you have to heat set anyway, so I'm okay with peeling this off. Now I'm going to peel it off, making sure, oh, I see some right there, but it's dry. Look, am I right? If you can spread mayonnaise on a piece of bread, you can do this. If you can spread, I don't know, yogurt, look at this. That is so adorable. I really didn't think I needed fresh because, you know, no offense, fall pumpkins are fresh, aren't they? Aren't they fall fresh? Like, you don't store them for a year. Don't we all know that? Now, sometimes if I need to clean up a little, I have over here, I use some rubbing alcohol. I don't know. I could probably have water. I could probably have wipes, wet wipes. But one thing I do, like I touch some of that ink on the transfer with my fingers, but I don't want it on the shirt. So I just put a little alcohol, rubbing alcohol. Could be a reason I have super dry skin. But oh well. To get that ink off because I don't want to touch that on the fabric. Isn't that cool? But this is just one layer. Now I'm going to take, oh, I want to dry this. I don't know if you can see up close. It's a little shiny. If I put my finger there, I get some of that ink. So what I want to do is I want to dry it with like a hair dryer. So it's going to get noisy in here for just a little bit. Because if I leave it wet, there's a chance some of that can mix or come up when I put the shade, the shadow one in, the shadow over top of it. So I want to definitely don't smear that. So hold on to your ears, people. I'm going to turn on my hair dryer to dry this out. Oh, hi. And this does help heat set it. Accidentally smear, as they say, smear it. So I'm drying the words too. There isn't any now. Isn't that cool? Isn't that awesome? And like I said, that silk screen puts just the right amount on. Oh, I gotta do my stems. I want my shadow on right away. Like now. Okay, so they did stems. So this one goes to the big one. And what I'm looking at is this. Do you see that? So okay, this one goes to the biggie. Now, make sure you get that, again, adhesive. so it doesn't leak. I've got a neon green. Oh God, kids love neon green. I love neon green. What do you mean kids love neon green? By the way, I teach. So if you hear me say kids, that's where I get my references from. Children are great to be with. If you're wondering anything, ask them. They will tell you. See, look at that green. Oh, I love that green. That's so Halloween-y too. Now this is how it looks when I open it. Oh, cool. Whoa. Now these are smaller, much smaller. So I'm going to use one on my cut up. Now I could do a dark green for the shading. Don't know what I have. I don't think I have a dark green. I have an aqua. Ooh, that might be cool. Okay, scrape it back in. That will go in water to clean up. I just throw them in a pile over here for right now. Put the lid on. Ink is now, which I love that they did this, white lids. The ink is white lids. Are white lids, excuse me. Horrible grammar there. And the chalk paste, where it's washable, is in the black lids. So if you haven't noticed that before in my videos, the white are ink and the paste are the black, and the black is washable. The ink is not. I want it permanent. And I just put these transfers, since they're sticky, on the edge of my work surface, so that when I'm ready to go and clean, I can take them all in there and clean. Again, gonna dry this. Oh, I gotta move those because they'll blow with the wind. I'm gonna dry this so it doesn't smear. Whoa! Touch it to see if my finger is damp on it. If it's not damp on it, then I know it's dry. And I always want to make sure that's the case. Okay. Now, this seems to be, I've got on a lot of their transfers, but this really seems to be the one that has the shading, like the first time for the shading. Now, see what I mean? Where it was dark. Oh, I see where that will do it. I'm kind of lining up here. I don't know if you can see that with the bottom. I'm just checking. That seems a little off. Now I'm looking at the stem, where the stem's going to go. You can see the T-shirt behind. Get over a little farther. Oh, this is the only difficult thing I've had to do so far, lining it up. And honestly, I'm not sure it matters how, you know what I mean? How you're close, that's good. I think it's good enough. That's the one thing I like too is, you know what? Art is not perfect. I mean, I don't care who you are, art is not perfect. We went to see an exhibit this last week. I was just checking that edge. And took the kids on a field trip to see an exhibit of art. Art is not perfect. In fact, if you think art is perfect, you are a fool, because pink dogs are not reality. Okay, people? We saw an art print with pink dogs. So I guess I look at this and go, you know, if it's not perfect, I'm okay with it. If people look at some of that and go, oh, pink dogs, that's just a great idea. Well, then this is awesome. This is like big time awesome. Because I'm thinking, pink dogs? Well, maybe on, I don't know. If you're a kindergartner, I guess, I don't know. But I wasn't thinking it was that awesome. So I'm going to put the lighter color on. Now I want a little more control. So I'm going to try and go like this around and do the shadow. Do the shadow of the stem in a different color. So this is that lighter orange I created, and that was just a little more yellow. Again, I didn't have any orange or pumpkin. I don't even know if they make the ink in pumpkin. But this is so cool. This is the best transfer because that shading, I absolutely love it. That it gives it more depth, if you know what I mean. Like it makes it look real. I mean, like absolutely real. Some of the Facebook pages I've seen other designers create. Amazing with this transfer. Absolutely amazing. It's just gorgeous. You know what? That's another thing I love about Couture. This is a gorgeous product. It's like they have the No Drama Llama. I've got to make one of those No Drama Llamas for a friend at work. She loves llamas. And her kids this year are very dramatic. Second grade. Extremely dramatic. And I'm thinking, how does that happen? But it does. It's amazing when you can see a class personality rather than a student personality. Okay, I think I'm going to try the aqua. I was thinking navy blue, but I think I'm going to try that aqua. It is actually called Tide. Some of us call it dark aqua. I have a wrist problem, so opening things is not the easiest thing for me. Here's what it looks like. But again, I'm going to try and control it. So my shading goes on there. I hope Lindy loves this. She's such a great kid. And I mean great kid. Very creative. She made miniature, what did she make last year? We did craft fair at school. She made miniature water bottles. She makes miniature everything. She saw it on YouTube. It is so cool. Okay, I don't know if I got any other colors on that. I didn't. So another, that multi-tool, where'd mine go? Here it is. When you get some of that ink on the edge, just scrape that off. Because then you get a really good seal when you put that lid back on. Nice and tight. All right, let's see. It's time. I like it. I like it. See, that adds dimension. See that? Oh, yeah, I love that dark to light on the pumpkins. That, oh, I like that much better than the light to dark. That's what I'll show you. See how this goes dark and then light? When I did it on the frame with the paste, look what I did. I did light to dark, which I like that, don't get me wrong. But I think, and by the way, I did the orange outlining on here, I thought. I like that orange outlining too, but you know, that aqua makes it stand out on a t-shirt. I think much better. So now I'm going to dry it again. I want to make sure that layer is dry before I put my Easy Press to work. In fact, I better plug in my Easy Press. See, still wet. I'm wiping it off. Isn't that cool? I love that. I absolutely love the look of that. And that jersey shirt. I think that's what they call it, is a jersey shirt. I love the look of that. Now I'm grabbing my Easy Press from Cricut. I went to the Cricut convention in August, beginning of August, and end of July, beginning of August. I think it was August 1st and 2nd. So they had their new Easy Press too. And of course I had to have one. This is what an Easy Press looks like. It's huge. This one I think is 9 by 10. So you can do t-shirts, like big t-shirts. Then I have a heat heat absorption. Now, since this is dry, I am going to move my wet ink out of here. Oops, hello. Need a little alcohol. I got some on my finger. Every time I touch those jars, I get some on my finger. Messy. Thank God it cleans up. Now, so I have that off. I'm looking at my hands. You can peel this off now, but see the inside? Did not go through the back because of this sticky ink pad. See? In fact, you can't even see any of that orange. I don't think I created. I think that's mainly for my jeans when I did those. I also have a Teflon pad. I don't know that you need it because it's dry. Isn't that cool? So here's the Easy Press heat pad that I'll put underneath. You can see that in dark gray behind. And so what I've done, this is, I believe it is 50% poly, 25% rayon, 25% cotton. So what you usually do then is you look that up on the Cricut. They have this page where you put the material you're in, the material that you need, that this is, like what's the combination, and then saying whether you're using this heat mat or not. Some people don't have that. Now my machine, my Easy Press, is already getting up to temperature. See how cool that is? I have it turned sideways, just so you know. It's not the camera. Try and turn it. It's kind of heavy for my weak wrist. But the cool thing is you can touch the side. You don't feel heat. It's only on the bottom, which is awesome. So you don't burn yourself. Okay. So I think it's like 330 is usually what it warms up to. And look how quickly that happens. Cricut is like my favorite company besides Couture. In fact, people that most know me, like my family, my mom knows, that's about all I know. Couture and Cricut, because I'm planning out some Halloween gifts. I'm making a witch's potion for Halloween for my kids. And I'm trying to make a container for it. But I have these, I can't remember what kind of tea I drink, but it's by Coca-Cola. And so I make this, I have this tea that you buy. It has these cute little bottles, plastic bottles. And so what I'm doing is I'm putting like a green mixed drink in it, and I'll put the lids back on. But I want a little paper container to put those in. So I'll have to post that on Facebook later when I get those done. But I was designing it this morning. You know how you want it just right. I hope it worked out how I have it designed. I need to take a picture of it when I do it. Okay, so don't really need anything over it because it's Teflon on the bottom. So you put it down. Here's a little 30-second timer. It tells you how many seconds to put it on also. My little Lindy's as I asked her, what size do you wear, Lindy? Skinny tall? She is so tall and skinny. She was a medium, and I'm like, yeah, right, probably an extra small, but she said medium, so I got her a medium. 330 degrees for 30 seconds, and I'm just putting some pressure down, not a ton. Like you don't see that my hands are going bright red. Here you see the steam. And this Easy Press comes in a tray, which is awesome because then you won't burn yourself or the counter. See how that did it? I think there's a wrinkle there. Yeah. Thinking whether I should take that off. But it's set. That's it. That's all it took. When I go out to give this to Lindy out at her pumpkin patch, I'm going to take a picture of it with her. I'm going to have her put it on and take her picture. But I thought, oh, I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. I ran into her, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, feels just like a transfer. Isn't that amazing? It was like wet. Now it's like a real transfer. That, you know, that feeling you get from transfers? Yeah. Now I'm going to turn off my heat press. And it cools down very quickly. Very, very quickly. Okay, I'm sitting down now. And you know what I was thinking this week? I thought, you know, there are so many ways to do this. And some people think, oh my gosh, it must take so much practice to do this. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's literally mayonnaise on bread. That's literally how easy it is. The only thing I have to worry about is, did I touch my fingers in paint so I don't get it all over the shirt? That's it. That's how amazing this Couture product is. I do sell the Couture product, so if you are interested in more information about it, let me know. Another thing I can do if you want, if you're interested and you want to try a sample, I will send you in the mail a little chip, and I thought I had a little, yeah, I do right here. I have also a little container of some chalk paste, but some of the small transfers, like we have, like I can send you part of a transfer and a little squeegee. You know how I cut those up? And then you try it and see what you think. Because that's pretty amazing. You can make Christmas ornaments. I can't wait to do that. I used the Woodland last year set. Oh, I love little animals. And so we did that last year. The kids at school loved it. This is like a lavender I have in here. But it doesn't matter the color. But if you want to, respond down below and message me your address. If you don't live here in town, you know, definitely message me your address. And I'll send you a sample. One of these samples. Just so you can try it with a little transfer. See what you think about it. It's pretty amazing stuff. And I'm just doing the layering, and that's kind of a little more complex. You can just dab little colors on with your finger and mesh them around. Like I could have easily done that with this, the pumpkin. Oranges, reds, and yellows. Smooshed it around my finger, pulled it up. It would have been just as beautiful. Just as beautiful. But if you're interested, if you live in town, let me know your name. Most of you, I probably can figure out your address. But if you don't, message me your address and your name. Your whole address, state, city, and zip code, and I will send you a little pack. I mean, this is one of the best things I've ever encountered. So let me know if you're interested in that, if you want to try it out. Hope you enjoyed today the adorable pumpkin patch. I called it the pumpkin patch t-shirt because that's where it's going, is my girl that has a pumpkin patch. I love touching this because it feels just like a t-shirt transfer. Who would have known? Thank you guys for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed it.